Hello everybody, Bruce here with part 3 of the lectures for week 1. Now we're going to move on to the structure of an image tag. And I think you've all seen web pages and they have images on them. And the way to do that in HTML, as you can see in the first bullet here, is you have an img tag, then you have an src attribute, followed by an attribute value of the file name of the image, and then you have an alt tag, which will give a description if the image is not available. It'll also appear if you hover your mouse over an image. So src is abbreviation for source, right? The file name is going to be the path name or file name or URL of the image. And the alt value is going to be, again, an alternative form for the image, usually a textual description. Now, let's talk a little bit about the alt tag. The alt tag was introduced to assist persons who are visually impaired, right? Because they won't be able to see the image. But a screen reader, when it gets to an image that has an alt tag, the screen reader will read the alternative text to the user. Okay? HTML requires alt tags, and when an image is unavailable or loads slowly, right, the browser will show the alt information to the user until the image shows. Now, you're probably going to see that on very slow sites with poor connectivity, or if you're on a mobile phone and you don't have really great coverage, an image may load quite slowly. So think of the alt tag for that as well. There are various types of images or image formats that you can have. You can have GIF, PNG, and JPEG. GIF is good, but it's going to be limited to the number of colors. One good thing about it is it supports transparency. PNG, or Portable Network Graphic, is a really popular file. It has transparency and it has lots of colors. And then you have JPEG, Joint Photographic Expert Group, which is really good for photographs. I'll leave it at that for now. Okay, so here at the bottom, right, you can see a fully formed image tag for an image called pipe.jpg. It's got an alt tag and it has a width attribute here. Do you see this width? And that's the number of pixels. One thing you don't want to do with images is resize them using HTML height and width attributes. Typically, you want to get the image to the size that's really, really needed. Okay? You can stretch the image here. Let me just go over this. The image tag has attributes width and height, which take values in pixels. You do not supply the letters px next to the number. A lot of people do that. Use one or the other to resize the image. Oh, use one or the other to resize an image. I'm not a big fan of that, but yeah, you could do it. Using both can stretch an image. Okay, so if you specify a height and width that's not what the image expects, or the way it won't render correctly, yeah, that's what can happen. So let me do this. Let me go into a sample page here. I already downloaded Oswald the Penguin here, and let's just see how big Oswald is. I right-clicked on the image, I went to Properties, and if I go to Details, let me bring it in the center here, you can see that the width is 192, and the height is 262. 192 and 262. So what I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to say img source equals, it's called oswald.jpg. I'll put alt text, Oswald the Penguin. And then I will put a height. Do you all remember what that was? Was it 262? Let's go back here. Right here. The height is 262. So the height is 262, again in quotes. All attributes are in quotes, with a width of 192. Okay? So let's save that and go to the file and double click on it. And there's Oswald. Okay, there he is. Right, there's Oswald, and you can see the link next to it here. Now, what's happening is the image, right, is an inline element. That means it's going to appear exactly where you tell it to, and whatever is coming after it, like this link right here on line number 9, is going to be placed right next to it, right here, as you can see, Clark College. Okay. Now, I'm going to get to this now. Sometimes you'll want to move an image, and I'm going to just do something like this right here. I'm going to say, hey, let's put some style in here. I know I'm jumping ahead, but let me get it done. And then I'm going to have my selector, which is going to be the image tag. And again, this is just for demo purposes only. I'm going to say float that image to the right. So I said find any and all images, right there. So this is going to do to all images, and float them to the right. Float them to the right. So let me show you what this does. Ready? Double click. And you see what it did? It moved the image all the way to the right. I could make it float all the way to the left as well. Float left. And let me go back here. And you see what it did? It floated it and pushed everything else around it. Okay? So again, we'll see that in the slide shortly, and we'll just skip over it. So I'll just leave that here so you can see what I did. And just remember, we're beginners at this stuff, right? And what's going to happen here is this is selecting all images on the page. So, when you develop web pages, that's not really what you're going to want to do, but just know that you could do it, okay? So, we did cover that. We did that already. So, how do you make that image a link? Right? So I'm going to show it to you rather than going through the slide. So what I want to do is get rid of this link here and simply make Oswald a link to Clark College. So what I'm going to do is copy the anchor tag here. So I'm going to cut it. See, I cut it. And I'm going to put it before the image. I'm going to make it neat here. I'm going to make it neat. Right there. And I'm going to move this A after the image. So what I did is now I have the anchor link here, and then I have the closing anchor tag here, okay, opening anchor tag here on line 11. Then I have the image, and that should do it, right? Let's try it. Ready? There's Oswald, and watch this. I'll hover over Oswald. See? He's got the hand now, and I'll click on him, and it takes me right to the Clark College website. Okay, so I think I covered a whole bunch of stuff there. Check this out. The Oswald image that you see right here, it's in the same folder. It's in the same folder as the startpage.html. So I put it right here as just the file name, oswald.jpg. Okay. Now, if I go on to the internet, let me find one on the internet here. Clark College Penguin. So let's do this, and let's go to images, and let's just choose a different one now, just because, and I'll say view image. Of course, that's not what I want here. Let me do another one here. Let's see if I can find the C. Yeah, let's try that. Oh, I didn't click on view. I clicked visit page. I stink. So there is this big C for Clark College. And here is the absolute path in the address bar to that image. Okay? The absolute path to that image. So if I really wanted to link, well, if I wanted to link, not really wanted to link, to that image, I can change the source to that URL. But what I don't know right now, actually it's 400 by 400, I need to change the height to 400 and the width to 400. And now instead of loading the image locally right here, it's going to go out to the internet and pull in that letter C. And again, it's still linking to Clark College. You see that? Okay. So this right here, this image source, is an absolute URL. It's telling me exactly on the web where it is. Okay, exactly on the web where it is. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this here. Okay, let's see. Okay. What's going to happen, okay, and I'm going to just make this a little simpler here. I'm going to save this file we've been working on. I'm going to say save as, and I'm going to go on my desktop, and I'm going to create a new folder. Okay, I'm going to create a new folder, and we're going to call it demo. There it is, demo. And in there, I'm going to save start page, so save it. Okay, whoops. Start page already exists. No, we want to go in that folder. And now we want to hit save. Okay, so there it is. I saved that file in the folder. And what I want to do now is I want to move, I want to go in that folder. There it is. And I want to create a new folder. Okay, a new folder. Okay, where are you? Where are you? New folder. And I'm going to call the folder images. Okay, images. You see that right there? And I'm going to move Oswald, that penguin, right into the images folder. So if you go into the images folder, there's Oswald. Okay, this is called good file organization. So now I'm dealing with, if you look in the title bar here, it says desktop demo start page.html. That's the file I want to work on. Now I'm going to go back here. I'm going to just undo a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. Let's see, href Clark. Okay, there's Oswald. If I load this now, it's not going to load correctly. If I go to this folder, right here, and I click on Start Page, see how we have a broken image? But we do have the alt text here. Haha. We have a broken image because that image is not located in the same folder as startpage.html. It's located now in a folder called images. So you see what I did there? I said images / oswald.jpg. So I'm going to go back to Chrome and I'm going to reload, and now we see the images there. Okay. Next week in class, we're going to do a little bit more with nesting of images and such and other assets in folders, because it's really important to get organized. You'll have a folder for your style sheet, images, and other things, and eventually JavaScripts or scripts, or you can put it in a folder named JS. Okay, so again, just look carefully at what I did here. Go through the slides. I'm not going to go into these in detail, but just know that you're going to need to learn how to organize your files. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the span tag. Okay, the span tag, and let me just see what the slides say. What if there is no tag to add a style attribute? Okay, so what you can do is you can use a span tag and a closing span tag to surround text and provide a place to style that information. Okay. So do you see here on the page where they have inline styles here, which Bruce said are very bad, right? But you need to know about them. Where the person who coded the slide says that they want the word eeny, meeny, miny, and mo to each have a separate color. So what they did is they put a span tag around each word and they applied an inline style. Okay, and you can see here in the little screen snippet at the bottom that had that effect. Again, inline styles are bad. Okay, inline styles are bad. Okay, list tags are something we did in class on Tuesday, and you can look in the in Slack and the stuff from class, and I think I put the code there, so I'm not going to go into them now because we did those in class. Okay, tables. I have some videos on tables, so you can watch those on your own. I'm not going to go through that again. And I also have some information on, how to style tables in Canvas. And let me just see, the box model, I also have a separate video on that. Again, I hate to have you go out to other videos, but they are in Canvas. You probably have watched them by now. And here's some stuff too that we did. We put a border around a box and things like that. We did that in class, and I believe that's also in the script in Slack. Let's see, style files, okay, style files. We're going to do these in class on Tuesday, next Tuesday, and we're going to learn about classes and IDs and such in the next class. And also, actually, let me check right now. Let me just check right now. Let's just go into Canvas, and we have too much stuff here. We. Okay. Let's see. Let me go in here and see what I have under week 1 under videos. I have HTML tables. Right here they are. Internal versus external CSS. The box model. And I should have something on styling links. Let me just see if I can find it. ctech.clark.edu/ctech122. And let me see if I have something here on styling links. I thought I did. Building links, styling links with CSS pseudo classes. There it is. And I will be adding it to, to Canvas so you could see that as well. Okay? So let me just see what's left here. We'll go through that. Actually, that video goes through the pseudo classes. And then next week we'll talk about this stuff here with the navigation bars, okay? And gradients and things like that. So 3 videos for week 1. I know I pointed you to other resources, other videos and stuff to watch. I know it's all new. Just bear with it. You know, what we are going to be doing in the real near future is starting to take programmatic control of our web pages, right? All this stuff, all this HTML, all this CSS, all these tags, but we're going to start to use JavaScript to add interactivity to all of our web pages, all right? If you have any questions, catch me in Slack, and I hope you all have a great weekend.